the next new year. I'll raise my hand and raise my voice, then turn and disappear. I'll find what we lost in the fire and keep back to myself. I'll toe the line and try to get to you on time, to get to you on time. Signs and landmarks are the only things in the snow that let me know how far I've come now and how far I have still to go. I'll find what we lost in the fire and keep back to myself. I'll toe the line and try to get to you on time, to get to you on.
So let's get started. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that are here in the kit. I put a lot of stuff in this kit. It was one of those things where I've had stuff that I've been saving up for a long time, and I really wanted to kind of give you a really fun kit that had a lot of cool stuff in it. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling out all of the contents. Alright, so we have all the ribbon here in a nice bag bundled up for you. Mine says Jennifer because I always label my kits separate. And then we have a bag full of like embellishments. It's ridiculous full. A couple bottles of acrylic paint. And the colors will vary. They're just going to be similar colors. Some chenille stems in a pretty green color. Lots and lots and lots of paper. So we have some solid colors here. And then also some chipboard pages, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Then we have a bunch of different pattern papers here. So some of these are from Kaiser Craft, and some of them are from the Reflections Christmas collection from Echo Park. So tons and tons of paper to decorate with. 2 different 12x12 sticker sheets. Now this is from the collection pack from Echo Park for these papers. So you know the collection packs alone are worth a great deal of money. And then the chipboard stickers that go with that collection pack. Some die cuts, and I put them here in a glassine bag so they don't get messed up. And then some beaded dangles, and we're going to put these on the book. I've already beaded them for you, so all you have to do is hook them together, so that's going to be nice. A coverall, and this is what we're going to build the book on. And with that is some chipboard pages in various sizes, a postcard tag page, and some paper bags that we'll use as pages, as well as some Rolodex cards, some little coin envelope, a glassine envelope, some more Rolodex cards. These are actually real vintage Rolodex cards that I got out of my grandmother's desk. Some sleeve inserts for the bind it all machine. You can use these on any kind of 2-to-1 ratio binding, but we're going to use them with the bind it all. Just some random little fun stuff. Some Smooch Spritz accent ink. And we'll use that to dye some things. A really pretty doily and another little envelope. So the first thing we've got to do is construct the book. And we're going to look at what our pages here are that we have, and then we'll start creating the base. So we don't need any stickers right now. And let's look at some of our papers. Now there's certain kinds of paper that I really like to use for pages in mini books. So I'm going to set my pages here on the side. Move all this stuff out of the way. And let's look at these papers. So this one, there's something really fun that you can do with these papers that have these 4x6 like postcard type things printed on them, especially if they don't have, I mean this has a pretty pattern on the back, but if they don't have other blocks printed on the back, I'm going to show you something really fun you can do with these. So we're going to cut off the UPC strip. And then we're going to cut each of these apart, but we're cutting them apart horizontally. Now, these are going to make really fun pages in our book. What we're going to do is just take it and fold it in half. And I'm just matching the ends up. And then make a crease. And you can either just glue the sides and the bottom to make a pocket, or you can glue the whole thing together, and this will make a nice sturdy page inside of your book. Or if you bind it on this side, this makes a little card that can open up inside of your book. All right, this one I'm going to go ahead and close it. And I'm just using a PVA white book binding glue to do all of my adhering, because it works really good. It doesn't come apart. It's not affected by hot or cold once it's dry. This is affected by cold, so they don't ship it in the winter months. All right, and as I finish each page, I'm just going to kind of put it in a pile over here on my left, out of the way. Let me pull my papers over here closer. So this one I think I'm going to have be one that opens up, so I'm not going to glue that one shut, but this guy I'm going to go ahead and glue him shut. So again, my glue, and I like to do my glue just, you know, around the perimeter, around the outside, and then just some swirlies on the inside or an X. And as I push it, it's going to help spread that glue around as I push on the paper. All right, next, we're going to use some of these elements as pages in the book, so those don't need paper on them. This postcard doesn't need paper on it, but all of these chipboards need paper. So we have 2 5x7s, 2 6x6s, 2 6x8s, and 1 8x8. And then we also have the coverall that we're going to decorate. Now this is the coverall cover. It's a little stiff, so you can take it and just kind of wiggle it if you want. You can make this too out of chipboard if you have some binding tape or something like that. But if you're going to use a coverall, and like we're doing with this kit, you want to make sure that this pocket side is on the back. That's the back of the book. So this is the front cover. So we want to make sure whatever paper we want on the front cover is glued here. And that is not these papers. Alright, so I want this one that has the Merry Christmas and the music on it on my cover. And then on the back cover, I'm going to put this paper with the postcards on it. And then on the inside, I'm going to have these guys. Now this one is going to cover the pocket. I want to cover it, but I don't want to glue over the pocket, if you know what I mean. Just going to hit these edges really good. Okay, so now my cover is pretty much ready for me to do my other decorating with it. And now what I'm going to do is just start gluing all of my pages. I also want to point out I have a lot of extra paper left over, so there's some things I can do with these. I can fold them in half and make, again, those foldy pages inside my book. I can use them as mats and accents, like these long skinny pieces are good for that. So I try not to have any like waste in my kits. Sometimes there's some leftovers, but I try not to have a lot of waste. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to actually fold it in half to make a card type page. And then I'm just going to glue the sides and the bottom closed. And this is going to make a fun big pocket. Now you can take a decent sized circle punch because this is such a big page, and I'm going to punch a notch out of the middle. I don't want to go more than halfway down in the punch because otherwise the notch will look weird. I'm going to turn it over so I can get this to really punch through all the way. And so there I have a notched little pocket. Alright, so what we're going to do is shake up your paint really good. And then on a scrap, or just, you can put your paint directly on the brush if you want. You can take a foam paintbrush, and I like to squeeze the paint into the edge of the brush, and I use the tip of the paint to help press, the tip of the paint bottle to help press the paint into the brush. So I don't want a blob of paint on here. I just want a little bit so that I can brush the edges of all of my items. I'm doing this instead of inking because it saves your ink pads and it gives a different kind of look. Plus it's a lot cheaper. So now I have all of my pages painted and I'm ready to do my binding. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything in the order that I want it to appear in the book. Okay, so now that our book is kind of put together, what we want to do is start decorating. So the first thing we're going to do is decorate the cover. And I have a bunch of different embellishments here with this kit. And a lot of these brown buttons. So just because buttons aren't necessarily the right color doesn't mean that we can't change the color and still use them for something creative, or make an embellishment on our page or our book. So what I'm going to do is build a Christmas tree with the buttons. And I'm going to use hot glue to do it, but I want to make sure I have enough buttons before I do the whole tree.
And we ring in the next new year. I'll raise my hand and raise my voice, then turn and disappear. I'll find what we lost in the fire and keep back to myself. I'll toe the line and try to get to you on time. To get to you on time. Signs and landmarks are the only things in the snow that let me know how far I've come now and how far I have still to go. I'll find what we lost in the fire and keep back to myself. I'll toe the line and try to get to you on time. To get to you on